The thing that I feared would happen when I saw those deer run and walk back around was that they would all circle around behind me along the river and come out the other end of the field, which they have, including my target buck for tonight. There's 8 or 9 deer down there, a couple bucks, and he's down there too. So there's about 25 minutes left unless they all decide to come down to this end and feed, which I doubt they will. I think this night is over, and I might just have to try again another time. That's all I can do. Things are tough when you're out in the late season. They're all grouped up together. There's my target buck walking through the woods and right behind my blind. Well, I've made it over to this blind. It's right on the end of this little peninsula. It's about the only option that I have at this point. I didn't scare any of those deer, and they kept pouring out. They've been coming in and out through there. I can see my target buck bedded up on a knob. All I can hope is that maybe as it gets closer to dark, the deer are just going to naturally feed out there through the field, and maybe that buck will come by. But there's no sense in spooking them all, so if nothing else, I guess I'm just going to sit back here at a distance and watch tonight, and I guess try to get out of here even earlier the next time. It makes it tough in the late season when it's cold like this, and deer want to get up and move and feed all day. You only have so many hours to hunt and be able to get out away from work and family responsibilities and other things that you need to do. But we'll see what the night brings. At least I get to see some deer. Well, I've got a plan, and we'll see if it works. I decided, since the deer keep bedding so close to my blind in the corner of the field here, I was going to drive down, take all my equipment, unload it in the blind, and then drive back out again. So if any deer were close by, I'd push them maybe further back into the woods a little bit, and they would be so spooked that they wouldn't come out later. So I've done that, and now I'm walking back. It's just a little after 2 o'clock, and hoping maybe the deer will come back out to feed tonight like they always do, and I won't get bamboozled with the big buck switching spots over and over where I'm at and where he's at. Alright, so I got settled into the blind here. Got all the camera stuff set up. Ranged a couple spots. Got all my gear in place. And I'm feeling pretty good about the overall setup I got in here. What I hope is plenty early. All the conditions are favorable. All I can hope is that the buck that I'm after will step out tonight and give me a chance to have a shot. I keep catching glimpses of a deer back in the got the chance to let off an arrow, and it's so cold I could barely feel the string against my face, but I felt like I had a good anchor. He ran off about 70 yards, and he stopped, and he was standing there, and it's kind of thick, and I've been watching him through the viewfinder of the camera, and I could barely see him. I could just see his rack moving every once in a while. But I'm just gonna wait till it's dark before I follow up with it. I'll try to watch him as long as I can, see if I can see if he lays his head down. But I think I got a good pass through. He was only about 22 yards, so I'm sure the arrow went all the way through. So just gonna trust the broadhead to do its work and bleed him out, and then go over there and hopefully recover him here in a little bit.
Hello, Josh Davis.
Hey, how are you? I think I've got a buck down. I was hunting tonight. Well, we are meeting up with Chase, and we're going to go back out and fly over the area where I know that deer is bedded, see if he's dead in his bed before we move on and go down and track him. We reviewed the footage again, getting home, and it looks like it either is straight liver or the back end of the lungs and the liver. No excuses, it just needed to be a better shot overall, but I'm thankful for the shot that I was able to have, that it was lethal, and we're going to go in there and see if we can't recover this deer. I actually missed this deer back the week of Thanksgiving. Had just kind of a comedy of errors setting up in the tree stand that night. He came in one way and then he moved around the other way, and I was twisted almost almost 180 degrees the opposite direction for where my feet were, and so it just wasn't a real good scenario, and I wasn't anchored in well, and I had held my bow back for almost a minute, and the shot just didn't work out well. I ended up hitting a tree. He didn't even know what happened. He just kind of jumped back and wandered off back in the woods, and this has been the first chance that I've had to throw an arrow at him again, so glad to have a little bit of redemption here. Lightning strikes twice, I guess, with this guy. So we're going to be heading to the woods and checking him out.
See, it's a dead deer. That's a dead deer.
Yep.
Wow.
Okay.
I can tell you.
Yeah.
That's your deer.
Yeah, I was going to say, that's definitely a dead deer, so yeah.
That was a record. I didn't even film for 5 minutes on that.
That's cool.
Record.
Yeah.
So we have a website, skymoredrones.com, as it stands currently. It's under construction, getting updates and stuff, because we're doing new, this is huge. This is awesome. It's such an advantage for hunters to be able to utilize our skill out here. And I don't know, you'll never lose a deer again. All you have to do is give us a ring, and we'll come find it in less than 5 minutes, typically.
And you got to kill it.
Yeah, you got to kill it. Yeah, so yeah, I mean that's kind of the prerequisite, is that if we find a live deer, you're not allowed to just go take it. We can only be out here looking for deer that have already expired, so you got to make sure it's a lethal shot. So we're not, you know, we want to do it by the book. We want to be able to stay within the guidelines of the law and have this advantage, or else Uncle Sam will take it away from us. I mean, that's the best part, isn't it?
Yeah.
Like
Yep.
to know.
Don't have any guesswork now.
Sometimes we can come out and we'll not find the deer, but I feel like you still have the value of knowing that it's not dead. You know.
That's right.
I feel like that's part of the battle. A lot of hunters stay up at
yeah.
night thinking, man, it's out there dead somewhere.
Yeah, it's good to know for sure. All right, well, Morgan and I are gonna head down into the woods. We've got a long, cold night ahead of us still, but we know there's a dead deer down there, so let's go check it out. You ready? Okay.
Good luck.
All right, thanks, Chase.
You're welcome.
Well, this will do it for the 2023 to 2024 Ohio archery season for me. Tagged out on a nice buck here at the end of the season. It was great how it all came together. A lot of challenges, a lot of struggles, but it was really nice to get a chance to get behind this animal. I'm thankful to the Lord for the opportunity to feed my family, but also just to be able to shoot such a nice animal, and I'm so glad to have my family out with me too, especially Morgan, who's really taken to the hunting this year, and she got her first buck, and that was awesome too. So we've had some great luck this season. So we thank you for watching, and don't forget, if you are in the central Ohio area and you need a drone service to recover your deer, check out Chase. Again, his information is there in the description below. It's a great peace of mind knowing where your deer is if you have a marginal shot or you're unsure about your shot in general. And for us, it was great. We could walk right to that spot tonight, figure out where that deer was. But we're going to get ready to get this deer processed and get it into the freezer, and we're going to enjoy this for many months to come. Thanks for watching. If you would, please subscribe, and we'll see you on the next one.